Okay, here, right before this scene begins, we have Jack staring at a warning poster for the women on the streets of London. How Lulu and Jack finally have their meeting with destiny. Later, I'm gonna play a clip of Louise Brooks describing the filming of this scene, because in spite of how it looks, even though it was sad, this is the saddest part of the film, but how Louise Brooks describes when she was making the film, how her and Gustav Diesel, who plays Jack, were so attracted to each other. She says that in between takes, they were dancing, laughing, and having a really good time, despite what was being filmed for the screen. Now, Louise Brooks' comments about the ending of this film in both the documentary of Lulu in Hollywood and biography, her Lulu in Berlin and her biography of Lulu in Hollywood, explains Lulu's hidden motivation. Louise Brooks' explanation shows, despite how things appeared throughout the whole film, the way Pabst directed her in the scenes according to his overall vision, combined with how Louise Brooks interpreted this character and played this character, is that Lulu was secretly depressed in the whole film, but it was hidden by the actions and especially the tension and drama going on the screen. Now, that means Lulu's real inner pain has been effectively hidden for the entire film, and I even think seeing this part without understanding it, people have watched this entire film, even including the ending, and have not picked up on what Louise Brooks explains about this character. I've met many real people who, on the outside, it appeared they had a perfect life, and when I really got to know them, they were miserable. And what Lulu shows here in this film is some of us are maybe a little hasty or a little shallow or superficial when we pass judgment on celebrities who kill themselves or people who appear to have it all, but really inwardly inside they're miserable. And when they end their own lives to end their pain, we question why. They looked like they had it all, but it was only a fake appearance. I remember saying and watching these characters' actions, it seems all of them are wearing masks, and their true motivations and intentions are completely hidden. And that's in life, that's pretty realistic too, because many people are good actors, and they're good at wearing masks and creating the illusion that they have a perfect life, but the reality is that's far from the actual case. Lulu is almost a counterpart of a woman in another film, though they're both completely different characters, although there's a superficial similarity because they appear to both cause the ruination of all those around them. I'm referring to another woman in a movie I would like to do a commentary on, but it would be blocked by Warner Brothers because of copyright, is Sister Jean and the Devils. Both hate their life and rely on escapism and sublimation as an attempted distraction from their desperate situation. Because Lulu's, we don't get to see what Lulu's real personality is like because she's constantly being manipulated. Probably if there was no little pimp, she would be a lot more likable and sympathetic character. Whereas Sister Jean, even though she's played by Vanessa Redgrave in 1971, when Vanessa Redgrave was in her prime, she wasn't just one of the most beautiful actresses. She was Alison Goldfrapp beautiful. While the character of Sister Jean, her personality is so ugly. If her face and body were as deformed as her personality, nobody would be attracted to her. Ken Russell, having Sister Jean portrayed as a hunchback, is a good effect in the film. He's trying to show an outward manifestation of her inner reality. The difference between these two characters is, at the end of the film, Lulu is revealed to be far less evil than what she's made out to be, and the real source of evil is the pimp manipulating her, while if Sister Jean proves to be far more malevolent than her appearance shows. Lulu is as much a victim as all the others around her, in complete contrast to Sister Jean. Deliberately gives false testimony, though she has a choice to do otherwise, to have a man condemned for heresy. Deliberately has an innocent man burned to death at the stake because of her injured vanity. Lulu is manipulated and used as a tool, because Louise Brooks was beautiful and charismatic, so when she plays Lulu, she becomes Lulu, whereas with Sister Jean, Vanessa Redgrave was a very, very talented actress, and the real Sister Jean was ugly, both in personality and in features. I've seen a portrait of her, and whereas Vanessa Redgrave is so beautiful, and all Jean really is a psychotic, demented nun. If she wasn't played by a woman who was Alison Goldfrapp beautiful, or as stunningly beautiful, the character wouldn't be very interesting. Anyway, because I love Louise Brooks, I'll include a short clip of what she says about the ending of Pandora's Box and this scene with Jack and Lulu.
Of the picture.
And this compounded with the fact that
man who played Jack the Ripper was someone that you found enormously attractive.
Yes, Pabst was very clever about knowing whom I found attractive. The moment Diesel came on the set for something or other, I don't think he'd given him the part yet. And he saw that we just adored each other. And I think that was the happiest scene of the whole picture. And this was very intimate. There was only Diesel and I and the cameraman. And we had a lovely time between each scene. Here he is with a knife which he's going to stick up into my interior, thrown on the table, and we'd be singing, and you would never know. You'd think we were, it was really a Christmas party.
The other is that the little pimp is, now it's revealed here, finally, that he's the hero of the story and he's been the hero all along. I really hate this character. Even though the film, and especially the play, it's implied in the play and the previous film, that Lulu is just immoral and she would have grown up to be the same no matter what the circumstances were. I dispute that, and having this little pimp for a father is why she is the way she is. And Lulu would not have been as this character is if she had a different father and had grown up in completely different circumstances. This little pimp trained her to be a seductress and use sex to get what she wants. She would not have been like this if it hadn't been for this little piece of crap forcing her to do this to survive from puberty. There actually is a Stanley Kubrick style message in this film about the real nature of our world. Lulu and the pimp's relationship symbolically. So what happens in this film is we essentially have an unseen master leading all these characters to destruction, using Lulu to do it. It conveys a subliminal message that celebrities and influential people of the world are controlled by a hidden master, guiding us all to a predetermined destruction. The same could easily be said of all mass media, corporations, religious leaders, and of course all politicians. This is also a really plausible explanation for all the frequent meltdowns and craziness that celebrities seem to manifest. Like Crazy Tom, jumping up and down on Oprah's couch on national television. The playwright's attitudes towards, let's say, the lower classes in this film really do come across as a mere justification of prejudices, a justification for elitism. And here thus, Pimp is the poster boy for the depopulation agenda. He's just a little Machiavellian angel of death. If this was the playwright's secret desires, something that he was venting out to live through this little pimp so he could live vicariously through him. Middle and upper class people at the time that this play was written were almost all universally Malthusians and believers in eugenics. Social Darwinism that basically the playwright of this film promotes is a false philosophy. In reality, the world isn't survival of the fittest. It's actually the opposite. The elites in control are only kept there by government-protected monopolies and the friendship with the powerful who keep them in place. Otherwise, they're businesses and they would fail, as they should, because they're parasites, because they can't succeed in a real fair market without government restrictions preventing true competition. And it's another example of total societal hypocrisy that Lulu is cast or is portrayed as the immoral one and the lowly seductress, the slut or the prostitute, and this pimp is made to be the hero, and he's the very image of Satan, the one that has the least morals and is the real predator. It's this little pimp, and yet he is made to be the hero. And so the German who wrote this play has no basis for any kind of moral judgments of Lulu after seeing the hero of this film, because instead of picking the most moral person in the film, he picks the cold psychopathic manipulator and makes them the hero. He wants to follow the law of the jungle and yet pass judgment on it at the same time. Of course, he sees himself as being superior to the worst of these characters, but that doesn't mean he's above using them for the necessary purpose of elimination. Notice that throughout this film, the hate is carefully directed toward Lulu, because slaves can't be allowed to hate their masters, the real cause of our suffering. Even look at who Lulu is compared to. I've been waiting to say this for the previous 8 episodes or 8 parts of this commentary, and can finally say that claiming the playwright thinks Lulu Lulu is the evil of society, and yet we've got Jack the Ripper, who kills prostitutes and paints the bricks red with their blood and draws pictures with their blood and scatters their organs all over the alleys of the streets of London. And Das Pimp, because it's clear in this part of the film that he enjoys others' suffering, especially Lulu's suffering, because at the conclusion of the film, after enjoying the downfall of everyone else in the film, and literally everyone in the film except for him, their life has been destroyed, we see the little pimp eating his Christmas dinner and drinking his booze with a big smile on his face, as if it was all worth it. His self-satisfaction even suggests that he will find another Lulu and train her to be used to destroy other people's lives and impose his will on the world through causing us suffering. This pimp, this little clown, is the hero of modern global elites, of psychopaths like Bill Gates, and this is how they lead the sheep to the slaughter. I think Pabst's film version of this story actually debunks the myths of the original play. He deliberately lifts the curtain so we can see the truth. After the second film Louise Brooks made for Pabst, it's called Diary of a Lost Girl. It's another troubled girl and lots of sex. Pabst actually, because he had witnessed for 2 or 3 months of filming of these 2 movies with Louise, of her having all these different partners, banging a different boy toy and a different flavor of the week, basically every time he met her. He told her after the ending of the shooting of Diary of a Lost Girl, he thought that Louise would be just like Lulu, which actually turned out to be quite strikingly similar to the truth, actually, of what did happen. And even Pabst himself, he banged her. He had sex with Louise Brooks also. And I'm not going to fault him for this, because Louise Brooks was one of the most beautiful women in the world. If she was offering me a chance to pleasure myself deep inside her body, there's not any chance I'm saying no. So I don't blame Pabst for having some fun with her. Although it is easy for some odd reason to imagine his short, thick fingers squeezing her little titties and saying, "Louise, I'm coming." I have an audio clip that sums up this entire scene. It's Louise Brooks' interviewer reading something she had written that describes the ending of this film.
It is in the worn and filthy garments of the street walker that she feels passion for the first time and comes to life so that she may die. When she picks up Jack the Ripper on the foggy London street, he tells her he has no money to pay her. She says, "Never mind, I like you." It is Christmas Eve. She is about to receive the gift, which has been her dream since childhood, death by a sexual maniac.
I think here Alva has reached the maximum amount of suffering that he can take, and it looks like he already knows what just happened without seeing, as if he seems to know where no one else does. Jack the Ripper was here!